Welcome to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things West Indies cricket. By the fans, for the fans. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. It's been a few nights, been a few days since the last Caribbean Cricket Podcast watch along, but we're here. We're here. Some of you may not even know we're doing this because we're still in Twitter jail, so that there's no way for us to be able to advertise these lives unless you're in the Facebook group. If you want to know about the Facebook group, search Caribbean Cricket Podcast on Facebook. That's how you'll find out. But we're in Twitter jail still, people. One whole week, and Twitter will not free us. So, this is all you got, man. I'm a hecka tired. Match ain't even started, and I'm a hecka tired out here. Anyways, we know the final four for CPL. Let me just quickly put up the teams in case you didn't know. So, Warriors are unchanged. They've won 3 in a row. They've made it through to CPL Final Four. They're the team to beat. They're the team with the momentum. They're the team in home conditions. Yesterday against TKR, Guyana bowled 17 overs of spin. 17. If you ever wanted to know the advantage of playing at home, that is it. All along in the tournament, I said that Guyana had constructed a side that was designed to play on home soil and do well on home soil, and it's worked. Obviously, they were terrible away from Guyana, but now they've landed at home. They look unbeatable. This, in many ways, could well be, if Guyana win today, then this is the dress rehearsal, you would think, for the final. Certainly, it's the dress rehearsal for, if they win, if the Amazon Warriors win, then certainly it's the dress rehearsal for the first qualifier. For those who don't understand how the tournament works, on Tuesday morning is the first qualifier. That will be first versus second. At current, if things stayed the way they are, it would be Barbados Royals versus St. Lucia Kings in the first qualifier, and the winners would go straight through to the final. But given Guyana's momentum, Guyana have opted to field first tonight, you would think that Guyana will win tonight as well. Anyways, the team is unchanged. Gabaz, Hemraj, Hope, Al Hassan, Romario Shepherd, Shimron Hetmeyer, Odean Smith, Kemo Paul, Gudakesh Moti, Junior Sinclair, and Imran Tahir. So you can expect that Guyana will bowl another 17 overs of spin, at least 16 tonight. And then the Royals, where are we? Sorry, the Royals side. Jimbo, Mayers, Najbullah Zadran, who I didn't even know had been drafted to the Royals, but he is in their side. I must have missed that news when Zadran got drafted. Tector, Azam Khan, Jason Holder, Devon Thomas, Mujib, Joshua Bishop, Obed McCoy, Ramon Simmons. So you would assume from that, assuming Rakeem will bowl, that Guyana will bowl 16 or 17 overs of spin, and Barbados will bowl 12. That's what you would assume based on the two sides. So we shall see. Like I say, there's certainly nothing riding on this. What just happened there? Sorry. So I should note, Romario Shepherd has taken the new ball, as he often does, or the first over, I should say, as he often does for Guyana in this competition. Sorry, people. Let me just... right, where are we? Sorry, I was making a point there. Sorry, I'm just trying to find everything. I'm trying to find myself. Trying to find myself here. Yeah, so Shepherd has taken the opening overs for Guyana, and Cornwall goes after that one, finds a thick edge, What's it? Yeah, so Cornwall, thick edge of that one goes after that one. Gets a thick edge down to man at deep backward point, and Cornwall gets off the mark. Yeah, that's the point I was trying to make. So I just remembered what I was saying. Like, today is irrelevant for the Royals. Whatever happens, the Royals will play in Tuesday's qualifier at 10 in the morning Guyana time. It's just who plays them. Will it be, if Guyana win, they'll play Guyana. If Guyana lose, they'll play the Kings. That's it. Other than that, Mayers goes after that one. It's going to be caught. Gone. So 4 balls down. Romario Shepherd strikes. Carl Mayers goes to the big shot, and he is out for a duck. He finds the man coming in at deep mid wicket. And Mayers' lean run with the bats. Mayers started the tournament like a house on fire, but he's had a lean run with the bat as of late, and he is out for a duck. Sorry, let me update these scores here, people. This is how you know that I've just woken up, that I'm still trying to get to grips with the game itself. Right, so Barbados Royals are 1 for 1. Carl Mayers is out. Right, let's see what people are saying in the comments. Yo says, what's up? Good night. Just checking in. Providence is lit. I presume Yo is at Providence. In fact, I've looked further down. He is. Javid says L for Guyana tonight. Yeah, that's what everyone said over the last 3 games, and all I've seen is W's. So, you know. Sachin says someone check on Fireball. He must be vexed still. I presume that relates to TKR getting knocked out of the tournament. Javid says Devon Thomas can bowl spin. I thought he bowled seam, to be honest. Raheem punches that off the back foot to the man on the perimeter. No run. 007 says, listen, rain ruined the day. I wish it would have fallen now until night. Demo says, big up Mash, big up Demo. 007, rain's a big disgrace today. Wanted St. Lucia Kings to win, but no, Jamaica got saved. Listen, Talawars are in the final 4. Of all the teams in the final 4, the Talawars are the ones who have overachieved the most. Santoki and I recorded an episode for West Indies on 99.94 earlier today. It should be out, if not tomorrow, certainly Tuesday. And it's on the Talawars. Listen, I don't think many Talawars fans expected Jamaica to be in the final 4. I thought we'd end bottom or squirts off the outside edge down to the man at deep backward point for a run. And that's the end of the over. 2 for 1. Mayer's gone for a duck. Rakeem Cornwall on 2. Harry Tector has come in at number 3. So of the final 4, make no mistake, the Talawars are the ones who've achieved the most. You can't tell me that anyone expected Talawars to be in the final 4. Vish says our batting isn't only on Carl, but he's a big part of it. Worried that he's kind of worrying, given his form going into the playoffs. Yeah, so big up everyone who's in the comments. A lot of people are going to read a lot into this match. It's irrelevant. At the end of the day, now everyone's in the final 4. It's what happens in the actual knockout games. Am I for real? Yep. Go watch our CPL preview show. I said Talawars. I didn't have Talawars in the top 4. .007's claiming that he had TKR out of the final 4 before the tournament started. No, you didn't. No way you did. Not. I'm talking about before the tournament started. I had I had Talawars and Kings to be out the top four. And I said that Guyana might struggle more than people realise. And basically, I only got one of those things right, that Guyana struggled more than people would realise they would. I still don't think Kings or Talawars were very good. It probably that's the uniqueness of CPL though. You can basically be rubbish for an entire season in CPL and basically get in. Um, if you look at the Talawars have won 4 games out of 10. 3 of those wins came in the first 3 games, which if you do the maths, Talawars have basically won one game in the last 6, right? And they've still made it into the final 4. That's what CPL allows you to do. One of the teams in the final 4 is always pretty ordinary. Actually, this year you could argue, other than Barbados, that every single team is ordinary. So, what's this now? So we've already got a delay going on. Already got a big. So Santoki and I were talking about this earlier on, right? Every game in Guyana has finished after 4 o'clock in the morning UK time. That's my biggest criticism of the Guyana leg. These games that are the night games in Guyana have gone on inexplicably long, to the point where it's almost taken away from what I'm watching. The 2 games that I've covered, can't even remember which ones now. Guyana versus Talawars, Guyana versus Kings, um, finished well after 4. Santoki said the game he watched last night between Guyana and Trinidad finished at 4:20 in the morning UK wise. It's not acceptable. No T20 game should be taking over 4 hours to complete. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. And it looks like already, given the delay, and we haven't even started the second over, game's already taking long. We're just sitting there watching the screen, nothing's happening. Does anyone even know what the delay is at this stage? What's going on here? Yeah, Vish, exactly. Because of the fact that Guyana bowl a lot of spin, the first 10 overs have been done quick and then the game's just slowed down. So, what's going on right now? The second over hasn't started yet, you know. Anyways, if you're new in the live, if you're new to a Caribbean Cricket Podcast watch along, thank you very much. Press like, press subscribe. Follow the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, www.caribbeancricketpodcast.com. You can find us on Twitter and or Instagram at Carib Cricket. You can't actually get any comments from us on Twitter at the moment because we're in Twitter jail still. So we can't actually say anything on Twitter. Still locked out of our own account because of some. Anyways, let me not cuss no bad word today. Right, we're about to go now after that long delay. Chemo Paul has taken the second over. Rakeem goes big. That should be out. That should be out. That should be out. Gone. Who is that? Who is that down at the boundary? It's Gudakesh Multi. Gudakesh Multi takes that one to a deep third man. Cornwall goes for the big shot after that long delay, and Cornwall's out for 2. Good catch by Gudakesh Multi. So the Royals 2-4-2. Both openers are back in the hut. Mayer's gone for a duck. Cornwall gone for a 2. And it's 2 for 2. If anyone's wondering what's going on, I mean, that's what Mayers and Cornwall do. They're at the top of the top of the inning, sorry, to go after the ball hard and go big. It's not worked out today. I don't think they'll change their style. Both are out. So 1 wicket for Romario Shepherd, 1 wicket for Chemo Paul. Javid says this is a must-win for Guyana because then they can lose in the first qualifier and still have another chance, or they can win the first qualifier and go straight through to the final. At the end of the day, once you're in the qualifiers, you're going to have to win a minimum of 2 games. So at this point, for me, it is what it is, you know. Azam Khan walks out. I'm sure he wouldn't have expected to be walking out after 7 balls, but here he is. Fish says, can we get a competitive match? I mean, yeah, I'd rather get a match, which means I can go to bed, but I hear you still. Yeah, Margel's right. This is my issue. The umpires have to hurry the game along. They've allowed all these Guyana night games just go on and on and on. It's unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Straight delivery, and Harry Tector pushes that down. Oh, that was just a defensive push, 4 runs. That shows you what can happen if you time a ball well. Defensive push, and it basically beats the perimeter fielders, goes down to long on. Hetmeyer can't stop that. He's not hauling that in. 4 runs. Barbados rolls me to 6 for 2. Next one is worked off his hips for 1 run. I'll just make some notes. Right, let me just find. So people, remember to like, subscribe to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. If you don't know, I'm going to put in the chat actually. We recorded an interview just before this match, about 2 hours ago. With the CEO of the Caribbean Premier League. So that interview is out on our YouTube channel. I've just put the link in the chat. Obviously, you can't watch it now because you're watching the CPL, but new podcast episode is out, episode 74 of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Should be dropping on podcast channels later in the week, probably on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, but it's out on YouTube. So it's a 30-minute interview with Pete Russell, the CEO of the Caribbean Premier League. So there's some viewing pleasure for yourselves. He talks about the positives and negatives of CPL this year. Will we go back to every team hosting next year? I don't think so, based on his answers. More encouragingly, I asked him about, will we see a 7th team in CPL? I keep saying that Grenada should have a franchise. One of Grenada or Dominica should have a franchise. And he didn't deny that. I think we will see a 7th team in CPL sooner rather than later. And if it happens, it surely has to go to Grenada or Dominica, you would think. But of course, remember that travel is such an issue and logistics is such an issue in the CPL that could be the only thing that would prevent it happening. Bowled him. He's chopped on. It's 8 for 3. It's 8 for 3. Tector's gone for 5. Chemo Paul bowls him. I think he's chopped on, but I don't know if he's chopped on off the inside edge. That's what it looked like, but I'm going to have a look now on the replay. Yeah, it's chopped on the inside edge. Gets down late on the ball, and the inside edge forces the ricochet onto the stumps, and the Royals are 8 for 3. God is good. This match might end early today. I guess it's a weird one for Barbados because they know they're in the first qualifier regardless. They know they're getting 2 bites of the cherry regardless. Yeah, Aaron, to answer that question, CPL, if I remember rightly, I believe they broke even last year, or maybe a couple of years before that. So this in theory should have been a profit year. Think about the fact that what am I trying to say here? Remember that they've kept the 10 o'clock games for the tournament, which is purely for the Indian audience. So you would assume that that's raking in some big money for them. And they have sent in Jason Holder. So the Royals 8 for 3 inside 2. And Jason Holder comes out at number 5 to bat with Azam Khan. No, that won't be happening next year. Anyways, what did I want to... Oh, yeah, that's it. So, right, that's what I wanted to find. So by the end of this live, I'm looking for us to be on, as Khan cuts that to backward 0.1 run. I'm looking for us to have 3,300 subscribers by the end of this live. We're currently on 3,274, so we're going to need 26 subscribers by the end of this live to reach the target. Let's try reach that, please, people. And for the likes, let's see, for the likes, how many likes are on? Anybody new who comes into this watch along, press like, please. So for the likes, I'm going to need us, how many are we on? 6 so far. Come on, people. No. You can't leave me in single figures. Yeah, so Fish says the local talent pool isn't enough to add another team to CPL. Yeah, but remember, each team can play 5 overseas players. So I reckon you could. It might weaken the tournament, but not significantly, I don't think. Yep, Vish, I agree. I think Barbados are batting like they know they're already in the qualifiers and that they know they've got 2 bites of the cherry. They don't have to win today. Obviously, there's an argument to say that they want to put pressure on Guyana in case they have to play Guyana. I mean, if the result stays as it is, they'll play Guyana on Tuesday afternoon anyway. 007 says we need 2 more franchises, broaden the pool. Antigua could put up a team, but only finances. Yes, broaden the pool, but like I say, it's the to have a 7th team. I want a 7th team, but it's a lot of logistics and finances would have to go into that. More importantly, as Javid says, what should be happening in the Caribbean, again, Santoka and I have spoken about this on the upcoming episode of West Indies on 99.94, so look out for it. More important than the 7th team in CPL is a Caribbean T20. I suggested not to give away what we're going to be talking about on the next West Indies on 99.94 podcast, but I said to Santoki, we should run our Caribbean T20 during IPL. Now, granted, our first class competition seems to go on when IPL is going on, or at least some months of it. But if it was me, and Cricket West Indies could find any level of sponsorship, I would run a Caribbean T20 tournament during IPL. It doesn't matter that the main West Indian players will be in IPL because it's not for them anyways. I'd run a local T20 comp. I'd split all the nations. So you'd have Nevis there, you'd have Grenada there, you'd have St. Martin there. Hell, you'd even invite Martinique and Guadeloupe and them, man. And you just make it purely Caribbean. Those who aren't in IPL, good luck for them. I mean, good luck to the IPL lot, but you play it without them. The key issues would be sponsorship, TV rights, who would want to pay for that. But wherever cricket is playing, eyes will be watching. And of course, for Cricket West Indies, they'd say the logistics of trying to run the competition, but there needs to be a local T20 tournament. Anyways, end of the third over. Royals are 10 for 3. Next over from Chemo. So interesting that the Royals first 4 overs they're bowling pace. Chemo tucks Jason up with that one. No run. That's wide down the leg side. I think he got a nick on that. I definitely heard the sound. Gurbaz goes up. It's probably off his pad. Does the umpire signal a wide there? Was there a wide signal or not? Looks like no wide was signaled, I should say. Yeah, it's just flicked off his thigh pad. Yeah, Vish, that's basically why Mark's in. You bring back the Caribbean stamp, the original Caribbean stamp for T20. Cricket West Indies can't afford it, but like I say, I would run it. If they could do it and they could find a sponsor and if they could find a TV deal, if they're lucky, they probably wouldn't. But even if they only could stream it on YouTube at a loss, I'd run it during IPL. I'm adamant people would watch. Not everybody wants to watch IPL, you know. If you ran a Caribbean only T20, some people would watch that over IPL. Yeah, 007, that's possible. I can reach out to somebody to come on the show and run a live one. So, yeah, I'll let you know about that. Speaking of live shows, people, for those who watched the show, one second, I'll talk about that after this. A nip backer there by Chemo Paul as Khan defends that out to the covers. No run. I saw some pictures yesterday, actually. I haven't seen a lot of people talking on it, where Guyana and Trinidad fans were brawling in the stadium yesterday. If anyone knows about that, let me know. But definitely seen some pictures driven on the up there by Azam Khan. Pitch must start. The outfield super quick because that wasn't timed well at all. And Azam gets back for 2. Should have been 3, but remember Azam's a big boy, so that's a 2. Do you know, Aaron? I was saying to Santoki today, like Santoki and I were saying that we're just about ready for CPL to finish. Like it's been a long month of probably because Santoki and I have had to do the match reports. I've had to stay awake at midnight so many times this month. So mentally, I'm kind of done with the tournament now because I've had enough of these late nights. But I said, Santoki, imagine if this was IPL, there'd still be another month and a half to go before the tournament was over. I think CPL gets the length right. I don't think a T20 tournament needs to be anything longer. Granted, there's only 6 teams, but it certainly don't need to be anything longer than a month. I think you get fatigue and I think you get oversaturation of the product if it's going to be a 2-month. What is the IPL going to be? 2 months, isn't 2.5 months now? It's oversaturation. Yeah, Javid, I've got a controversial view on the Mankad incident. Don't care. That's my views on it. I don't care. It's in the rules. You're allowed to do it. I don't care. Like if you get done, it's your own fault as a batter. Yes, okay. It's a bit of a techie one. But if you stay in your crease, it's not going to happen. End of story. All of this tear and cuss out and this that and the other. Some of the reactions that I saw yesterday, and I haven't tweeted it. If our Caribbean cricket handle wasn't on lockdown on Twitter, I would have tweeted it on that handle. Some of the criticism I read over the weekend smacked of colonialism. there was like a colonial mindset to some of the criticism, like, how dare you brown people do that? I swear to God, some of the reaction was tinged with that. I don't care what anyone says. It felt like it was like, that's just not cricket. That's not the way we do it. That's how it came across to me anyways. But big and true, I don't care. Mankad everybody. Oh, Odean Smith. Sorry, people. I didn't realize this game's now that we've actually got started after that initial delay. We're into the 5th over, probably because Barbados are now just trying to see out the power play, so nothing's really happening. That's a wild man ball from Odean Smith. So Smith is bowling the 5th over, and he started with 2 dots. He's gonna have to reload that one now. It's wild down the leg side. That was on like a 10th leg stump line. Rolls are 15 for 3. Now, part of me wonders, no, because Guyana will want to win this game, surely, because you keep the momentum up. You want to win 4 in a row, but it's interesting. 5 overs, no spin yet, Guyana. Oh, they've gone for a quick run. Yeah, Holder calls it. What's happened there? I don't know who was in the outfield, but Holder called for a quick run. Odean was on the floor. No, he wasn't on the floor. Junior Sinclair runs in off the perimeter and chucks the ball into Odean's behind or into his left buttocks. Poleaxes Odean, and Azam Khan survives. No, Simit, haven't seen the Gale video. No, haven't seen it. Right. So there was just a comment about the women there. Good lift there from Odean, but it's a wide ball. Have to reload that one. So only 2 legal balls bowled so far in this over. 1 wide, 1 wide. Royal 17 for 3. 007, yeah, the West Indies women beat New Zealand women today. I'm hoping to, actually, let me check my phone and see if she's messaged me. We're hoping to have Stacey Ann King. We're hoping to have Stacey Ann King come on the podcast. We're supposed to be interviewing her tomorrow, so I'm waiting. She sent me a message saying she'd confirm with me, either early tomorrow. Obviously, remember she's in Antigua at the moment, commentating on the games. So we should have some content around the women's around women's cricket with Stacey Ann King. Oh, that's edged by Jason Holder, but there's no slips there. Takes the thick outside edge down to the boundary, and Royals move to 21 for 3. Yeah, Anthony, I agree with you. So Anthony says Hetty has a tendency of bowling spinners in the death. He's probably going to sneak some pace overs while they're bowling good. Yeah, completely agree. It's probably good for the pacer's confidence too. Yeah, at some point, Guyana there's going to come at least one match in the playoffs, qualifiers, final, whatever it might be for Guyana, where they can't just rely on their spinners. So whilst he can, so what's he done? Chemo's bowled 2, Romario's bowled 1. In fact, has Chemo bowled 3? Has Romario bowled 2? I need to check that. Sorry, so Romario's bowled 2, Chemo's bowled 2, and Odean's bowled 1. right? There's actually good captaincy from Hetty because at the end of the day, he's got to get some overs into his seamers. He can't wait until there's some clutch situation. Maybe the spinners have a bad day, or too many of the spinners have a bad day, and now he's got to turn to his seamers, and none of them have confidence or form. So I kind of agree with Anthony there. Right, 41 of you in one more ball left. Sorry, let me finish. I'll get to that point in a minute. One more ball left of the fifth over. Royals are 22 for 3. Azam Khan on 5 not out. Holder 8 not out. It's well driven from Khan, but he can't beat the perimeter. And that's the end of the fifth over. Right, so 11 likes so far, people. Come on, if you're new to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, press like, press share. Sorry, share this, like it, subscribe to Caribbean Cricket Podcast. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Carib Cricket. You can go to our website, www.caribbeancricketpodcast.com, where you can find everything. If you've missed it, we have dropped another episode of the podcast, visuals only so far, on our YouTube channel. I haven't sent the audio to my guy yet to edit it, but the visual, no edit, is on YouTube. It's an interview with the CEO of the Caribbean Premier League, Pete Russell, where we look at this year's competition. We look at the future of the Caribbean Premier League. We look at the 60. We look at the women's CPL, all of that. One thing Pete did say, actually, which was quite interesting, is we asked him about. I said to him, I think the question I asked him was, has there been anything that he'd look at CPL this year and say, you know what, that needs to improve? And again, I suggest you go and watch the full interview. It's only 30 minutes. But and we've got our first over a spin, by the way. Shakib Al Hassan is into the attack to close out the power play. But one thing that Pete said was, he said that some of the I'm going to paraphrase. Basically, what he said was some of the accommodation and facilities for the players in Guyana was not of the standard that some of the international players were expecting. And I just started laughing. So if you watch it, you'll see me start smirking when he says that, because the reason I was smirking, don't know if anyone knows this, but when the under 19 World Cup at the start of this year was held in the Caribbean, does anyone remember that the Indian team or backroom staff were cussing about the accommodation they got in Guyana? They were cussing, saying there was no running water, water got locked off, and they were saying stuff like, we've never experienced this before in international cricket. Sorry, something's in my throat. One sec. Need to go get some water. Never experienced anything like this. Holder goes down big. That's straight down the ground. That's huge. Long levers by Holder. That's straight out of the ground. It's the first hit. It's the first hero maximum of the tournament. It's taken us till the 6th over to see it. Double O 007 says, based on CPL and form of the players selected for the World Cup, what's your starting 11? Don't know yet. Listen, we're playing Australia in. When's the first game? We're flying to us. We're playing Australia next week, Wednesday. I think everyone's forgotten that West Indies fly to Australia literally a few days from now. CPL ends on Friday. We're supposed to be playing Australia on Wednesday. Remember, two T20s versus Australia prior to the warm-ups, which are prior to the World Cup qualifiers. Listen, I said to Santoki today, I'm not even sure we're going to qualify out of the qualifiers for the World Cup. I think minimum, I wouldn't want to tell you who, but we're going to lose one of those games to Ireland, Scotland, or Zimbabwe. We are definitely going to lose one of them. And if we do get through, don't be surprised if it's some net run rate thing, but we're definitely losing one of those 3 games. Yeah, Sachin, I did it on purpose. They ain't paying us for nothing. Double O Seven says Ireland's the one match I think we lose. Well, that's the first match. I'll definitely be doing a watch along for West Indies versus Ireland. That much I do know. I'll try and do some. What I'm planning to do around the World Cup, I think, don't take my word for it, watch along for two of the matches, at least the first innings of the match, but then like a Caribbean cuss out show after each match. So I'm going to try and incorporate that more and more into some of our content. So for those of you who know our Twitter handle at Carib Cricket, I'm going to. So Imran Tahir is into the attack. Holder drives that ball down the ground to long on, 1 run. So I'm definitely going to try and do some live shows, I think, on the days where West Indies play, like after the match is done. Maybe some call-in shows, or at least a Caribbean cuss-out show where I respond to the comments that people drop. But we'll see. I need to refine that, work out how it's going to go. Yeah, Sachin says leave it to Guyana, provide accommodation. Yeah, Sachin, I didn't press Peter Russell on the details, but like I say, as soon as he said it, I thought back to the 2000 the under 19 World Cup this year, where people are cussing out the accommodation slash conditions. I need to find that article for you lot. Let me see if I can find it. It was so funny when I read it. Let me see. Here we go. I'm going to put it in the chat, people. You lot must have thought I was joking. Here we go. One sec. Uh, Read that article, people. I've just put into the chat. It's what the Indian authorities were saying about the conditions they experienced when they arrived in Guyana for the under 19 World Cup in February this year. They were cussing. Have a read of that. Azam Khan tries to go for a big heave ho slog, ricochets off his well, that was either his pad or his behind, and it goes through for a leg by. Yeah, Jair says it's 31 for free. Yeah, I know. I was just about to update the score. I haven't got round to doing it because seeing these watch alongs, a lot goes on, you know. So we have to chat to people, put their comments up, so on and so forth. Anyways, Guyana have now turned to spin, and the Royals are 36 for 3 after 7 overs. Audrey's on 20 off 20. I didn't even realize I know it hit that maximum earlier on, but hadn't really realized it got to 20 already. Faraz says, can Australia go back to back and win the T20 World Cup? I'm not. Don't know about that. I forgot that Carl Mayers is now captain in the Barbados Royals, you know. Miller, of course, has gone to play in that South Africa-India series, along with Quinton de Kock. Javid says, this squad, I presume, means West Indies can beat teams in the qualifiers, but we can't beat any team in the first group. I don't think we're going to have a good World Cup. But then again, a good World Cup for me is winning 2 games in the main stage. So maybe we will have a good World Cup. So on the commentary, sorry, I'll get your comment in a minute, as far as on commentary, uh, Simon Dool is saying, and I agree with him, he's saying CPL should change the rules so that you must play an under 21 player in every game. So not you've got to give them a minimum of 5 across the tournament. You've got to play one every game and have an under 19 player in the squad. Yeah, I kind of agree there. I think we've got to a point with CPL where if you're going to say you're developing players, you have to play them. Otherwise, what's the point? I know, okay. I was about to say, what's the point of them being there otherwise? And some will say, well, being part of the dressing room and training every day and exposure them to a professional environment is part of the development. I hear that, but I see Dool's point there. Sorry, the reason I'm not talking to people, I'm listening to this conversation between Bish and Dool. Oh, yeah, it's going down leg side there by Shakib. So Vish says King Mayer's Lewis Hetty Puram for the top 5. Rovman's got to be in there somewhere. Anyways, end of the 8th over. Barbados rules are 39 for 3. Real slow going here. Sam Khan cannot get to grips with the surface. You feel that he's, I mean, yeah, Sachin. Yeah, I've heard that there's been almost like a carnival of cricket events around CPL. No, Faraz. So what happens is if Warriors, was that a drop there by Imran? 1 second, people. Yeah, it was a drop. I mean, it's not easy, but I guess it counts as a drop. So Azam dropped on 7, but if I was Guyana, that's a wide ball. It's a grubber as well. It's gone straight through the legs of Gurbaz. Nothing you can do about that. That's 5, and it's a wide. That's 5 runs added to the total. Yeah, sorry. So that was a drop off Azam. Hold on, people. Interesting. I didn't know that. So I've just heard that Isaiah Thord and Nathan Edward from the West Indies under 19s are going to play in the junior PSL in Pakistan. They're flying out there. Interesting. But that's interesting. So they're getting more chance of cricket in Pakistan than they would get if they played in the Caribbean. Because one of the problems is there's just not enough cricket opportunities in the Caribbean. Was that a drop off holder? No. Right, so Farah, sorry, to answer your question, there's so much going on. There's a lot of good commentary going on TV, which I'm trying to hear and get a grip to. But more importantly, Faris, if Warriors win, they will play Barbados on Tuesday morning. And that's called the first qualifier game. Whoever wins that goes straight through to the final. On Tuesday evening, it would then be Kings versus Jamaica in the first eliminator. Whoever wins that would then go through to the following day on Wednesday evening to play the loser of the first qualifier in the second eliminator to decide who goes through to the final, if that makes sense. 007, I don't have Reefer getting into my 11. It was a glove, so it was a drop off Holder. So Holder was dropped off Gurbaz. So that's 2 drops in the 9th over off Imran Tahir. One off his own bowling, and then Gurbaz drops Holder down the leg side. Sorry, people, falling a bit behind here. So that if you were listening to the commentary on TV, I thought it was a really interesting conversation between Bish and Dul. Might have to do a video on that. I thought they were making some really valid points there. Anyways, Azam Khan is 8 of 16. He's really struggling out there. You don't know what's going on. Holder. Holder is 23 of 27. Multi into the attack now. And then Azam decides he's had enough of that, clears his front foot straight down the ground. And that's the first shot of real intent from Azam Khan. This one's a dot ball, next ball. We've got an Angostura drinks break coming up soon, just as well, because then that means I can go for my water break. Let's go back to some of the comments. Sorry, let me find these comments. Where was the last one? Azam again goes down the ground again as he got, 6 more. That's a great stroke. Inside out, over, long off. Or in like kind of maybe deep extra cover even. That's a great shot. So this is a big over here. After me saying that Azam doesn't know what's going on, all of a sudden now his strike rate is now 100, just with those 2 6s. Maybe he said maybe Azam has now said, you know what? I've worked out what this pitch is saying. Royals up to 58 for 3. Azam 20 of 20, Holder 23 of 27. It's a good recovery for those who've come into this live late. At one point, the Royals were 8 for 3 in the second over. 50-run partnership of 49 balls. Well, Azam wants a quick run there. Holder sends him back. And that's the end of the 10th over. 12 off it. Multi's first over. So that's the halfway stage. They'll have a drinks break. So it's taken us 52 minutes to bowl the 10 overs. Let's see how long they take to bowl the back 10. Right, so let's go through some comments before I go and take a drinks break and find some water. A quick run through some comments here. So Farah says, Guyana want to take this one seriously because it means they get 2 chances at qualifying for the final. Yep. Sumit says, Mash, these watch-alongs absolute quality in terms of interactions in your narratives takes. Need to market it better. has potential for a big feature going forward. Interesting to me. I was talking about this earlier on, actually, this morning, saying that I've now realised that the watch-alongs, after all this time of doing content on Caribbean Cricket Podcasts, all the different interviews with Michael Atherton, Kyron Pollard, Jimmy Adams, Carl Mayers, all these different people we've interviewed, it's the watch-alongs which have had the most views, which, because I'm not au fait with YouTube, I guess it took me by a bit of surprise that the watch-alongs have had so many views. Obviously, they're not concurrent; they're over time. So yeah, it's definitely something I need to look at now as a medium going forward. And like you say, market it better. But we're locked out of Twitter at the moment, so I think we're still yet to reach the full Caribbean audience. We're slowly reaching into the market, but I just don't know how you find them per se. Faraz says, I'd save Shakib at the end so he can bowl his last 2 overs and get Odean after for a spell alongside Tahir. I'd imagine in what? Let me just go look. So let's look at the scorecard so far. So there's 10 overs left to bowl. Tahir will bowl out. Shakib will bowl out. So that's 4 overs. Gudakesh will bowl out. That's 3. That's 7 overs. So it's just whether, I mean, Junior Sinclair is in the side. Surely he's going to bowl some overs as well. So maybe they'll go spin for the final 10. But you would assume that Odean will come back at one point. Sorry. Let's go back to some more comments. 16 likes so far, people. Come on. 16. Is that all? 3,000. No, you're not doing me dirty up here. Come on, people. If you're in this live, press like, share, subscribe, etc. And we're on 3,276 subscribers. Come on, I want 3,300 by the end of this live. We need 24 more subscribers. Anyways, let me try to get some more comments before I go for a drink. Gurbaz has definitely improved the Guyana team with the bat. He's been key in their victories since turning up in Guyana. He's obviously got a duck in the first game, but the start he's given Guyana has pretty much set them up to win. It depends, Javid, how much Australia, how much they experiment versus West Indies. I think there'll be fatigue for the West Indies players. They already would have played a full CPL. Then they fly to Australia. Sorry. And then are expected to just play Australia immediately with remember, that flight to Australia is no joke from the Caribbean. You're basically losing an entire day just flying. Then you have to acclimatize as well. Long. So I've lost some. Where's the last comments I've got here? Javid says West Indies should hire CCP for an innings break commentary like what England have. Listen, I keep saying, by now, if I was in Cricket West Indies or CPL, I'd be using us in some capacity. My iPad's gonna die, 38% already. Mad. Yeah, Sumit says there's many other watch-alongs, even for these CPL matches, which have 1,000 concurrent viewers. 1,000. I think the most I've ever seen on Caribbean Cricket Podcast. I think one time we hit 236 or something. So the market's there. You just need to tap into it. Yeah, 100% Sumit. I need to hook up with somebody who's au fait with all that. We're back after the Angostura chill break. Right, people, they're back for after the drinks break, but I haven't had my late night water drink break, so I'm just going to come off the screen for a second here so I can go find something to drink. I might have a piece of lemon drizzle cake as well. Do you know what I mean? It's late out here. It's 2 minutes to 1 in the morning. We're in the 11th over, and Odean Smith, sorry, I should point out, has come back for his second over. Let's see if I've got any more likes going on. Let's see now. 19 likes. People, I want 50 likes minimum by the end of this Guyana innings. 50 likes a minimum. We can do it, people. We can do it. And Boy, you lot doing me dirty here. Oh, that one. Oh, what? Oh, he's going to get run out here. Yep, gone. Gone. They shouldn't even need to check that. Azam just walked straight off. That I've got to blame Jason Holder there. So I think that one cut through Azam Khan. Just is a bouncer which Azam Khan doesn't get anything on. He turns round and watches it. Gurbaz doesn't field it properly. Holder called through the quick single, but Azam just didn't react quick enough. And sorry to stress it, but Azam's a big boy. He does not have. Come on, look at him. He doesn't have the speed in his legs to respond to a quick call like that. Schoolboy cricket says don't run on a misfield, particularly a tight misfield, and he's run himself out. And the Royals are now 58 for 4. Javid, to be fair, I don't think Summit was talking about the West Indian YouTubers. Do you know what's harder though? I think certainly for these CPL games, it's been easier for other YouTubers to do live streams, because if I was in the Caribbean, I wouldn't be half asleep trying to live stream these games. So, anyways, Najbullah Zadran is in. He has come in as a replacement for Quinton de Kock. And the Holder guides that one down. Guides that one down to third man, one run. In fairness, I'd say that Holder was right to call. Yes, you shouldn't run on the misfield, but the misfield from Gurbaz, if Azam reacts quick enough, it's an easy one, but Azam's slow, boy. I think this innings that you are talking about, wasn't that the year just before the World Cup where we gone, Zadran's chopped on and it's 60 for 5. He's gone for a duck. First ball, golden duck. Didn't read it off the pitch. Odean Smith strikes. It's his second wicket. And this is useless from the Royals. Good for me because it's bedtime, but useless from the Royals. That's useless. I'm sorry. That was a nothing delivery from Odean Smith. And Zadran just pokes at it. And chops onto his stumps. Just tentative. Just a tentative poke on a fifth stump line. Knocked onto his stumps. Now, like I say, I'm not going to give the Royals any excuses. What I will say, though, is I don't know. They know they're through. I don't know. It's just interesting to me about mindset. They know they're through. They've made 3 changes. They've given players a game time who probably wouldn't be in their first choice team for a knockout game, quite possibly. Maybe that's just affected their attitude to this game. 007 says, any watch along for the women's T20s? and that's chopped, sliced. Sorry, not even chopped, sliced through cover. Devon Thomas first ball as he comes to the wicket, and the Royals are 64 for 5 at the end of the 11th over. I don't know who the Royals have got left after Devon Thomas. Let me go look. Yeah, that's pretty much it after this. So it will be the tail after Devon Thomas. So it's up to Jason Holder and Devon Thomas to try and put any kind of respectable score up. 22 likes so far, people. Come on. Right, okay, so... right, so to answer 7's question, so we're now at the fans, we're at the Republic Bank fan stand. That means something's about to happen. That means we're about to have a wicket, because it always happens when they go to this fan stand thing. So anyway, sorry, I'm watching the fan stand thing. Yes. So do you mean the West Indies women's T20? Yes. Although it's hard. Here's the problem, 007. It's harder to do. In fact, where's my, 1 second. Right, let me see. Let's see, people. Let me see when these games are. I might be able to. I might be able to 007. It's going to be hard. Yeah, I'm looking at when these games are. Saturday, I definitely can't. Are they going to review that? 1 second, people. 1 second. No review. Saturday, I definitely can't. Sunday, probably not as well, unless I did the back end of the match. It's just the timings. It's the timings of the women's games that make it hard. Wednesday, I'll try. Let me see. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. Yes, Fish, that's correct. I think they do watch alongs. I don't know how many they do, but I know they do them. Yeah, Sportsmax is probably the top channel in the region. There's no way we can compete with that, not without any sponsors, anyways. I'll see what I can do. Wednesday's a possibility. Holder comes down the track to that one, skews off the inside edge out to Romario misfields that. It was out to deep square leg. Romario misfields it, and Holder's able to come back for 2. Only 22 likes, people. Come on, man. Come on. What? You don't want to give me more than 22 likes? Yep, Javid's right. If you want to watch other people, Sports to the Bone and Sports Addiction, other people to go to. There might be someone else I'm not thinking of. They got more subscribers than us, so you know. Sumit wants a YouTube channel doing West Indies Test match watch-alongs. Listen, Sumit, now I know there's a market for watch-alongs. You never know, you never know what. Look out for that. Australia versus West Indies Test series. What's this now? What the hell is this symbol by the umpire? What's going on? Holder goes for another single. Correct. Right, people, I'm meant to go get a drink. I'm going to update the score at the end. That's the end of the 12th over. So it's 68 for 5. Devon Thomas is 5 of 3. Holder 28 of 13. There you go. Scores updated on the screen. Fazir goes on Sportsmax usually. I don't know if it's after every match, but he's usually on Sportsmax covering everything to do with West Indies cricket. Right, I'm going to quickly go get a drink, people, so I'm coming off the screen. 1 second. We're back, people. I've got some grapes. I've got some lemon drizzle sliced. I've got some water. We're still alive. We out here. Holder's gone for a quick single. Again, gets that. Holder moves to 35 of 35. Good night, Eshra. Always a pleasure. Holder picks that one off of his legs and gone. Gone. No, it's not Holder. It's Devon Thomas, sir. You can only find Gudakesh Moti down at long leg. And Thomas has gone for, I don't even know how much he's made. All I know is Barbados rolls to 77 for 6. Is that legal? It's fine. It's first point of contact, anyways. Smith gets his 3rd wicket. I feel like Gudakesh Moti has taken enough catches in this tournament. Thomas goes for 6 of 6. I really feel like this is a. I don't know where to draw the line. Like, I want to give credit to Guyana, but it just too much of this feels like it's a carefree batting approach by Barbados. I don't know. I just sense like their head's not totally in this game. Javid, CCP watch-alongs are unique. It's like you're meeting your friends in a shop watching cricket. Yeah, basically, that's what I've tried to create with this. It really ain't about me trying to do some ego thing and say, like, you lot just listen to me chat. I was saying Santoki, we're talking today, so I should point out, so Santoki and I have recorded 3 different things for you lot to watch. So there's an upcoming episode. So it should be out tomorrow. West-innings on 99.94. Episode on St. Kitts and Nevis Patriot. Then either on Tuesday or Wednesday, episode on the Jamaica Talawars. Then after that, which we're recording tomorrow, an episode on women's cricket with Stacey Ann King. And then if you haven't seen already, we've dropped episode 74 on YouTube, interview with Pete Russell, CEO of the Caribbean Premier League, and that will be on the podcast audios soon enough. So anyways, the point is, Santoki and I were recording stuff today. And I just said to him afterwards that we're talking about the watch-alongs and stuff, and we're just saying that, I was saying to him that the reason I do them is first and foremost, it's to keep me awake for these matches. But actually, what's now happened is there's such a good community in it. It's now made me realize I need to do them for all kinds of West Indies cricket or cricket in the Caribbean. Might have to start doing it for Super 50. Holder goes big against Tahir. That's straight down the ground. That's well struck. It's those long levers again by Jason Holder. He's just hit through the line. And it's a maximum. 83 for 6. He goes again. That's out this time. Yep. Out. Who's that? 84. Who's that? Is that Kemo Paul or is that Junior Sinclair? Who's he found? Who was that? Who was 84? Was it Junior Sinclair? Anyways, Holder's gone for 42. It's Kemo Paul. Holder goes for 42. It's a lone. It was a lone hand by Holder. No one else has shown up. Barbados at 83 for 7. All I know is Super 50 will be on. It'll definitely be on BT in England. I'm not sure if it'll be on YouTube or not. Probably for some regions. Aaron says Mash is going to bed early tonight. Listen, I don't want to tempt fate, but all I know is Barbados at 83 for 7, and it's 1:17 in the morning, and I'm thinking, will I be in bed by 3 o'clock? Oh, God is so good. What's this? Is this a wicket? We've just come back from a TV break, and all I can see is Imran Tahir doing big celebration. Is Hetmeyer going to go for the review? What's he saying? Yep, they've gone for the review. It's Majib and Joshua Bishop at the crease. What's that? What's Majib done here? Is it out or not? Oh, he's got an inside edge on that. Come on. That's a big inside edge. Yeah, so Aaron, Barbados 83 for 7. I might go bed early tonight. God is so good. In my deepest, darkest hours, God always comes through. He said, not tonight will you go to bed after 4 o'clock. Tonight, I'm granting you 2.5 hours sleep. God, you're so good. Tashan Super 50 Mujib, fine cut there. Don't know if it was deliberate, but whatever he's done, there's no third man and he's off the mark. It's a 4. Yeah, Tashan Super 50 is supposed to be in November, around the time that West Indies are on tour in Australia. That one from Tahir beats Mujib's wild slog and somehow doesn't take down the stumps. Must have missed that by inches. Listen, I'm just out here eating my snacks. Know what I mean? That's a nick and gone. Another Romario Shepherd, great bounce off the track. And Joshua Bishop nicks through. He's gone for a duck. Shepherd takes his second wicket. It's 87 for 8. This has been pitiful from the Royals. Pitiful stuff. (1:22 a.m.) Barbados Royals 87 for 8. Listen, I'm just looking at the clock going, I'm going to be in bed by 3 o'clock. Oh my God. Do you know what that means, people? 3 hours of sleep before work. I ain't seen the likes of this in this tournament so far. Big up Guyana Amazon Warriors. Tashan says, which coach would you recommend to TKL for next season? Don't know, but certainly not this guy from India. I know that much. The franchise needs a bush bath after this season. They need to reset. Sachin, I'm teaching all day tomorrow. Oh, McCoy drives it down the ground, straight drive, and Barbados get to 91 or in the 90s even. Full toss there from Shepherd. He tried to go for the Yorker. Doesn't hit it. And McCoy just guides that down the ground for 4. McCoy goes after that one as well. Oh, he's marmalised that one. He's marmalised that one over, where's that? Over Cow Corner. 6 runs. Rolls me to 97 for 8. Yes, it's Sachin, sorry. I'm teaching every single lesson tomorrow. Straight through from 8:30 until 3 o'clock. No break. And I'm out. Bowled him. McCoy goes 4-6, and then Romario Shepherd bowls him. And that's Shepherd's 3rd wicket. Yeah. McCoy goes for the wild heave hole, and Shepherd takes out the middle stump. Now, this isn't a pitch issue. What I do think is that the only thing that's interesting about this pitch today is that I'm not saying it's favoured pace, but it's a pitch to bowl pace on. I think it's worth pointing out in this Barbados innings that Guyana have bowled 7 overs of pace bowling. Sorry, 8 overs of pace bowling out of the 15 bowled so far. So they haven't even used Junior Sinclair. So that's the only thing I'd note about the pitch, that there's been joy for the pacers in this pitch. So 7 of the 9 wickets have fallen to pace tonight. Only 25 likes, people. Come on, man. "26 likes. Tashan says, if Gurbaz bats the way he does, then I could be in bed by 2:30, 2:45. Don't tempt me, Tashan. Well, good delivery from Romario Shepherd. In ducker into, who is that? Or Ramon Simmons. But the youngster defends that. See if have you had any subscribers today? 3,279 current subscribers. We're 21 away from 3,300. Come on, people. Come on. You can get there. 3,300 people. And that's the end of the 15th over. Romario Shepherd, 3 overs for 14. Sorry, 3 overs, 3 for 14, I should say. I've got 2 different opinions on it. Oh, sorry. I've got 2 different opinions on it, 007. Opinion 1, Pooran has basically captained the whole summer from before we went to the Netherlands. In fact, from the Netherlands all the way through to CPL, they probably wanted to, I'd imagine that they wanted to protect him from captaincy. He looked, by the time West Indies duty had finished, Pooran looked burnt out from captaincy. Remember, we took licks after licks after licks after licks across the different formats. So he probably needed a break. But then at the same time, there's an argument to say now he's West Indies captain. He should be captain in his franchise. But whatever. I would rather probably err on the side of him needing a break from it all. Wildman delivery from Smith, and Mujib is able to, well, he actually only found the man. He only found the man at short fine leg. But the ricochet off the fielder meant that he could run through for 1. 28 likes so far. What on earth? Ramon Simmons goes with a big heave ho and clarts Odean Smith out the ground, and Barbados bring up their 104. I don't see that happening. Maybe at some point in time, but not next year. No way. No way Guyana let Odean Smith go. Ramon tries to repeat that stroke, but he can't get to that. And actually, it's called wide on height. So Ramon Simmons on 6 from 3, Machel on 5 from 4. Barbados have managed to get over 100. That's wide again from Odean Smith. He'll have to reload that. Tashan, I would fully expect TKR to try and make a play for Evan Lewis next season. The case is not being heard until 2023 now. 64 of you in the live. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe, follow the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Oh, and that's a healthy nick from Machel. It's a healthy nick, and that's going to beat third man. 4 runs. Like I say, there's no way Barbados have enough, but psychologically getting over the 100 always makes a team think that at least they've got something to bowl at. Still, Guyana should win this easily, but you always have to deal with that psychological impact. Ramon Simmons tries to fetch that one. He doesn't get to the pitch of the ball. Was through the shot too quickly, but he gets one. That is the belief, 007, that he will be touring Australia. That was wide as well, but Machel actually reaches that one. Shepherd's able to come around the boundary and cut that off for 1. Odean's actually been hella expensive. 2 for 39, 1 more ball to go, and then he's bowled out. I mean, he's taken the wickets, and that's what matters more, you would say, but he has actually been expensive in the context of the match. That might be wide again. Yep, that's called wide. Bish just saying that Odean Smith has bowled 23 wides. in the competition thus far. Ridiculous. I mean, that's the end of the over. 3 wides in it. How many came off that over? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 off the over. Wait a minute. What the hell just happened there? Wait, what on earth just happened there? That was ridiculous cricket. So Odean bowled that. Ramon Simmons defended it down the track. Odean booted it away, thinking, well, that's the end of the over. And he just booted it to no one. There was no one on the perimeter. And they've run through 2 runs. Shimron's face sums up that. I don't know what to make of it. That was schoolboy cricket. I don't think they call. Vicious says that should be a dead ball. They've not called it a dead ball. I thought it was just over because I started looking down, ready to update the score. Next thing I know, I see people running. I don't know how you describe that. I don't really know how you describe that, people. Either way, it's the end of the 16th over. So more importantly, you see that what Odean bowled there. Four overs, 2 for 42. This is why I worry about Odean Smith, because he's bowling at the back end in our last series at New Zealand showed some levels of improvement. That's wide from Tahir. But Odean still bowls. Odean still bowls like a madman. And this is why I'm glad Romario Shepherd didn't make the World Cup squad, because you can't take Odean and Romario to a World Cup because neither one, you can't trust either to be consistent. And we can't go into a World Cup banking that, well, forget Romario because he's not in squad, but we can't go into the World Cup banking that Odean can bowl anything more than 2 overs. Because if you're oh, that looks like that might be out there, yeah, and he's given Mujib goes for the reverse sweep. He's gonna have to review it because you've got to review, but that looked out. Mujib was falling over as he went for that reverse sweep, but that looked pretty plumb to me. But anyways, as I was saying, yeah, you can't at this stage of Odean's career arc, he still can't be trusted in any given game to bowl more than 2 overs. And if you bowl him for more than 2, you're hoping he goes well. It's not like Alzari Joseph where you're like, yeah, he can do the job. Oh, actually, is that doing? I still think it's out, but is that doing too much? I mean, it strikes him on middle and leg, so surely that's crashing into leg at least. But it was turning. By the time it strikes him on the back leg, which is on the popping crease. Do you know what, people? They may say that's doing a bit too much. I think it's out, but they may say it's doing a bit too much. No, it's missing. It was turning too much, not out. Right, so Aaron says that Odean bowls back of a length, which will suit Aussie pitches. Yes, on paper it will, Aaron. Now here's the next question. Do you think Odean has the control needed to bowl according to conditions? Javid, no, I didn't read Sir Robert's interview because more time he just chats fart. So I can't be bothered to read his foolishness. Like, the problem with Andy is that no, that plugs in the outfield. Andy's like one of them drunk old uncles at the rum bar. Like, he may or may not have some valid points to make. But even if he makes valid points, it's always hidden in a bag of old drum talk that it then seems to invalidate the majority of what he's saying. So more time, I don't read Andy's stuff anymore because you just know it's a cuss out. Majib comes down the track and that's gone. That's 6. Now, people, Guyana will still win this, but rather inexplicably, the Royals are actually 124 for 9. Now, I'm not saying the Royals will win. No, of course not. But put this in perspective. The Royals were 88 for 9. They're now 124 for 9. They still will lose, but this is a bit of a recovery from them here. It's certainly something for them to bowl at. Majib drives that one down the ground. That's 1. So that's the end of the 17th over. I thought I was going to get an early bedtime, but it looks like this innings is going to end at the usual time these innings end. I don't know why I thought life would be good for me. So 3 overs to go. Ramon Simmons is on 13 from 6. Majib is on 15 from 11. It's a true pitch, though, so it makes sense that they would be doing this. Imran Tahir bowls out 4 overs, 1 for 31. There's 3 overs to go. Surely, given how well Romario and Chemo have bowled, they give those 2 or 3 overs left between them. So unless Shimron is going to use Gudakesh in the death, you'd assume that Romario and Chemo might get the final 3, but oh no, it's Shakib. It's Shakib. He's giving one to Shakib at the death. Note now, who's listening to what Bish is saying? Someone asked me about it earlier on in the live, saying, what did I think about the Mankad? And I said, good. Rules exist for a reason. You coming out your crease, expect to. That goes straight through Majib, misses the wickets. I agree with Bish. You come out your crease, I'm going to Mankad you. Why not? If it's in the rules, I'm going to. About spirit of cricket, what? You ain't following the rules. That's not spirit of cricket. So now I'm going to knock down your stumps. How about that? So I'm with Bish on that. People wanting to cry over Mankad. That's out. Majib advances down the wicket, tries to go for the big shot. He can only find the man coming in off the boundary, and that is the end. That is the end of the Royals' innings. They're bowled out for 125. More importantly, it's 142. 142. Hopefully, the innings changeover is only 10 minutes max, and Guyana Amazon Warriors will come out and should chase down this 125 quite easily. Yeah, sorry, good point, Tashan. It's a run out. Sorry, I shouldn't call it Mankad. Run out. You run out. Good point. Good point, Aaron. But what is he, a bowling all rounder or is he a batting all rounder? Every all rounder has a primary suit. What's his primary suit? Jeremy says, Mash, what's your thoughts on TKR this season? Hold on a minute. I'll give you my thoughts exactly, which you can watch during this innings break. Let me find it for you. But basically, in a nutshell, read TKR, like a lot of teams, a lot of questions need to be asked about team construction. Team construction, not knowing where anybody was batting, not being willing to drop players soon enough, a whole bunch of things, really and truly. So Jeremy have put in the chat the episode we did on TKR. That probably answers all your questions there, to be honest. West Indies versus UAE and you in Dubai, we'd win 2-0. Right, people, I'm going to come off the live for a second. I'm going to the toilet. There's 32 likes. I'd still like us to get at least 50 likes by the time this live is done. I'll soon be back. We're back, people. Just as the Guyana Amazon Warriors innings is about to start, Gurbaz has been the one over the last 2 games just blasting the ball out the ground. How will he go about this? I presume he can only play one way. And it's Mayers, I didn't realize it was Mayers. It's Mayers who opens the innings, and Gurbaz is immediately off the mark, working that one off the legs down to the man at deep mid wicket for 1 run. Sumit, you said, here is a girl video. Was it on TV? I must have missed it. I was paying attention to something else if it was on TV. Oh, good move. Now, I wonder if Mayers has put himself on to open the bowling, because obviously they've seen how Romario Shepherd and Chemo Paul got some nip and movement off the surface first up. So Mayers and Holder in that argument would then be the first 2 to bowl, because they're the ones most likely to extract whatever movement there is out there for the Royals. Again, angles that one across Hemraj, no run. Yeah, all right. It's on Willow. That's why I don't know what you're talking about. Whatever that advert is, it's not on BT Sport. Hemraj advances down the wicket. Tries to take on Mayers. No run. Yeah, I got to agree, Jay. Everyone, myself included, would have assumed that Guyana would prepare, would have spinning wickets only, but this fresh track has helped the Seamers, no doubt. Oh, strikes Hemraj on the pads there. Hemraj plays across the line, no run. Yeah, Tashan, I saw the earlier comment. I didn't put it up because, well, I just agreed. So Tashan says there's flaws in the KKR setup. CEO's involved in selections. Well, the CEO must have been involved in picking, what's his name again? Can't even remember the name. Abashef, whatever his name is. I can't remember his name. The head coach. Oh, gone. because it's in Guyana, I didn't even realize it was out because there's no noise from the crowd. But Hemraj Mayers stayed on that line. He stayed on that line outside of stump, expecting Hemraj to eventually go after one. Hemraj does. He guides that straight. He guides it straight to Majib at point, and that's the first wicket. Guyana are 1 for 1. I would expect Holder to take the new ball, not McCoy. Because if you are, like I say, if you're trying to extract movement off the surface, give the next over to Holder. Shai Hope comes in at number 3 for the Amazon Warriors. Jay, good question. I think Roston Chase should go as a reserve if you're looking at an off spinner. Who else deserves to go? I'm going to come back to you on that question, but I would definitely have Roston Chase there as a off spinner. You lot are saying Hope. Hope made 2 scores in the entire tournament, and you lot want him to go already. Come on, man. We got to stop doing this thing with Shai Hope, where the minute he makes a score, we just say, right, he's in. No, come on, he's got to be more consistent than that. And it is Holder, by the way, who takes the second over. It's clear that the Royals are trying to use whatever movement is off the track. But what the hell's going on? Why have they gone to an advert when Holder has only just started bowling? These dunces. Quick single by Shai Hope. Or was that Gurbaz, in fact? Sorry, quick single by Gurbaz. Right, sorry, people. So I want to go back to that question that Jay asked because any answer that I give has to be based on statistical evidence that justifies the players going. So Chase goes as my backup off spinner. If you're taking another batter, it all depends on the type of batter you're looking for. If it's an opener, it wouldn't because there's too many openers in the squad. In fairness, as much as I just said no to Hope, it depends what you want. If it's a accumulator who can then go big, you go Hope. If it's an explosive batter, you might go Rutherford, even though he's had a shocking tournament. His ceiling is higher than most players' ceilings. So as much as I just naysayed Hope, I can envisage a scenario in which they take him. It can't be Fletcher because they don't need an opener. You've got to look at where the gap is in the squad. Jay says Chase wouldn't do well on Australian pitches. Well, he's not going to be in the. He's not going to do anything. He's going as a reserve, and the gap in the squad is that they don't have an off spinner. So it's not even about if Chase would do well. They just don't have an off spinner. So that's why I would take him. And then if we're looking at bowlers, then what? Other than sitting on the rain, if we're looking at bowlers, the only players you could call they may end up taking Romario, you know. Because again, if you're going statistically, it would have to be Romario. Yeah, it would have to be Romario. I don't think he should be there. Hope drives that through the covers for 4. Great shot. Whoever we take as our reserves, they're no good. Is basically the long and short of it. $41 likes, people. 9 more likes to get the half century. And that's the end of Jason Holder's over. And after the second over, Guyana Amazon Warriors are 7-4-1. But yeah, how many overs till I just leave this? I haven't even decided. I'm so disappointed that Guyana started their reply at 2 o'clock. Please, God, don't let this go for till 4 o'clock. Please. Surely they aren't going to let this go till 4 o'clock. I think I might go after. Will I go after 6 overs, 8 or 10? Based on the statistical analysis that I've just done on CPL, we have no good players to go in reserve because all the players that have done well, all the players that have done well in CPL this year have been the established players who are already going to the World Cup. Carmez is going to bowl his second over, and Barbados is a third over. Oh, it's big appeal. No. Nah, it's too much swing there by Mayers. That's going to hit like a 6 stump, but he's obviously getting movement. We're seeing that test match line here from Mayers. Hope drives that, no run. Yeah, Jaden Seals is injured, people, for those of you mentioned him in the chat. 42 likes, people. Come on, man. We're 8 runs away from the half century of likes. Again, Mayers with an inducker, no run. He's actually getting a bit too much in swing. Tashan says, which team do you think utilizes its resources the best except Barbados? It's got to be the Kings or the Talawars, because based on talent acquisition, they were the 2 weakest teams in the tournament, and yet they're in the final 4. I certainly think Faf has been the best captain in the tournament. Hope's able to work that one fine, though. Whips that one off his legs. It goes fine, 4 runs. Two more balls left to this Mayor's over. Or again, in ducker. But Hope is able to play that down the ground for 1 run. Still on 42 likes, people. 15 subscribers away from 3,300, though. Let's keep that going. Again, another inducker by Mayers, and that's no run. And that's the end of the over. End of the over. Amazon Warriors 12-1. No idea, Tasha. You would assume so, but no idea. Now, who will get this 4th over? Will it be Holder again, or will it be McCoy? Hope goes after that. 6. So Holder back into the attack, and Hope clears him out of the ground. Inside out, deep cover region, 4 runs. In fact, no, that's not deep cover. That's a lie. That is more like long on, deep extra cover even. Or he goes after Holder again, but this time Holder does him for pace. No run. Yep, Javid, 100%. I'm glad that it's ending this week. I can't deal with these T20 tournaments that just go on for ages and ages and ages. CPL done after 1 month is just about right. Oh, that's out. That's plum. Yep, and give him. Holder traps Hope in front. He's not reviewing that. That's plum. That's plum. He's gonna review it because he's got a review, but to me, that's plum on first viewing. Yep, Hope goes to the review, and rightly so, because, well, why wouldn't you? You're a top order bat. You've got to take the review, but that looked kind of plummish to me on the first look. .007 fly straight to Australia. Where? From the Caribbean? They must be taking about 3 different flights to get to Australia. They're going to fly to England, fly to Dubai or Singapore, then fly to Australia. It's long to go Australia from the Caribbean. They ain't going to go direct from England to Australia. I'm telling you that now. It'll be England to Dubai or England to Singapore. CPL final is on Friday. Oh, it might be a bit high, actually. 1 second, people. Is it going top of off? Yeah, that's plum. Gone. So Hope goes for 16. Holder gets licked down for a 6, but strikes with a wicket, and Hope is gone for 16. Tashan, don't die for T20, you know. Do your exams instead. Sean says this CPL is the least enjoyable. All I know is it's the least enjoyable for my sleep. Anyways, the new batter is Shakib Al Hassan. Worth noting, by the way, that Obed McCoy is yet to bowl, and the Royals have taken 2 wickets. I suspect Mayers will likely bowl out. Right, I think Mayers might bowl out from the start. He might do 4 in a row, you know. To 18 a.m. Lord God. And that's going to be 4 runs. Badly lined by, oh no, it might be kept in. No, badly lined by Holder, and Shakib is able to work that one off his thigh pad for 4. It's not 4 runs. I mean, it is 4 runs, but it's not off the bat. It's leg byes. One more ball left of the 4th over. Oh, he wraps him on the pad. That's angling down leg. No run. That's the end of the 4th over. Amazon Warriors are 22 for 2. 007 says 63 likes. Are we? 63, you mean 63 people are watching? Ainsworth, welcome. I'm curious on a podcast like yours. How are you paid for your time and effort? Paid? Ainsworth, boy, I've got a story to tell about that. We're not paid for the podcast. I mean, how do we get paid? Oh no, that's a lie. Sorry. So we're not officially paid by anybody because we don't have a sponsor. We do this all for the love of the game, but we do have some of the people that follow the Caribbean Cricket Podcast are patrons, which means that they pay $2 or £2 a month to just support what we do. So that's, I guess, a form of payment. YouTube, maybe off YouTube, we might make. How much would we make of YouTube? For those of you, YouTube, I don't know. I'd say 30 quid a month on YouTube. For those who understand YouTube metrics, you can't draw out what you make until you get to a certain figure. So don't think that we're making any money off this YouTube thing. And then after that, it's just any little pieces of work that we get from people. So like CPL, we're doing the match reports for CPL this year, all the reports on their website. So that's a great shot from Shakib. Drives that one through the covers, 4 runs. Carl Mayers, by the way, is back into the attack for his 3rd over. And that gets Shakib off the mark, and the Warriors move to 27 for 2. So what was I saying? So we're doing the match reports to CPL. They'll pay us for that. We do some work for Jared Kimber, his new podcast network. We do the West Indies content on there. West Indies on 99.94. So that's West Indies content 3 times a week on that podcast network. Shakib chases that one outside. That's like on a 6 stump line. He chases that, doesn't nick off though. But yeah, ideally, in an ideal world, we'd just have a sponsor, and that would just basically cover what we do on the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. But we've been going 2.5 years now, coming up to 3 years, and no sponsor, I'm sure there's a way, but we don't know. Vish, no, we don't get anything from Spotify or Apple. We just put our podcasts up there. Shakib cuts that wall. No, there's someone down there. Raman Simmons is down there, but that's all. He gets 1 run for that. Do you rate Shakib? It's an interesting one, Faraz, because I don't see him as a great T20 player. Wait, what's going on with Rakeem? Is he going off the field? Why are they putting the camera on Rakeem? Man, sweating out there though. I don't see Shakib as a great T20 player, Faraz. I think he's passable. He's okay. I've seen him play some good innings, but in the context of T20 cricket, he's nothing. He's more effective with the ball than the bat in T20 cricket. Gurbaz goes for the big shot, and it was a full toss by Mayers, and Gurbaz gives that the treatment, 4 runs. Sachin, how about 99.94? Did you get anything there? Yeah, we're supposed to actually. So it's a hard one with 99.94 Sachin. Obviously, we like what we do there, and it's a more professional edit and version of the stuff that we do on Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Just driven down the ground by Gurbaz, straight down the ground, and who's that at the boundary? Can't stop it. Who is that? Oh, it's Harry Tector. He can't stop that. That's another 4. And that's the end of the over. 14 runs of Carl Mayer's third over. And the Warriors are 36 for 2. So what's I saying, Sachin? We will get paid for the stuff we do for 99.94 because that is actually work. 3 podcast episodes a week is a lot. Like we recorded 2 tonight, for example, to go out. We're recording another one on Monday. So that almost is work, if you see what I mean. But in an ideal world, we'd actually just get sponsored for what we do on the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. And kind of what's happened is we've had to, the watch-alongs notwithstanding, we've had to kind of cut back a bit on all the different types of stuff we do on the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Because, yeah, you know, like, sorry, what's going oh, sugar. My iPad's about to die, people. Oh, snap. 1 second. So yeah, hope that answered that, Sachin. Sorry, my iPad is dying. I need to do something. 1 second, people. Mujeeb is into the attack though to end the power play. Let me go find a way to. And Shakib sweeps him for 4. Gonna have to get my iPad's dead. My iPad's died, people. I don't know if that's a cue for me to come off this live. But what I'm going to try and do is log in to the cricket on my computer, which will mean I'll be quite a bit behind you lot. It's even slower than the iPad. So I've got no visuals at the moment, people. I'll be back with you in a second whilst I try and fix this situation. Try to get into the cricket on my computer. Let's see. If it doesn't work to get on the computer, then I may have to depart, people. What's this now? No, it's not on. That's Major League Baseball. What channel is it on again? Here we go. Right, okay. 007, thank you for the super chat. He says the World Cup bowling attack will be Mayers, Joseph McCoy, Holder, Hussain. Yeah, I think you're probably right. And then Pooran with his dibbly dobblies of off spin. 46 likes, people. We're 4 likes away from the half century. Shakib in one cricket is fire test as well, but like you say, yeah, T20, he's more a bowler. Right, okay, I've finally got the cricket back on my laptop. So I'm probably behind you lot who are watching live because now I'm watching it through my laptop screen. And Shakib gets the pitch of that one. Will they run the overthrow? They might do. No, they won't. Mujeeb taking an unusual amount of licks in his first over. I didn't send that. Right, let's go through some more comments. It says, yeah, you guys need to sell your product, awesome product, better. Don't know how. After all, I ran the project with 0 followers on Twitter for some time. I'm sure there's a market. Yeah, for sure. Yes, Tashan, sorry, yeah, I saw it late, so I was trying to get some visuals on the cricket, so was missing stuff. Right, so sorry, people, I'm still trying to get cricket visuals done properly here. Right. Anyway, so that's the end of Mujeeb's over. The Amazon Warriors are 43 for 2. They're marching serenely to this game. They only need 83 runs off 84 balls. What do you reckon? I should be in bed by 3:30? If I'm in bed by 3:30, That's at least 2.5 hours sleep before I have to get up for work. Now, some of you will be like, only 2.5 hours sleep, but trust me when I say, earlier this week, I was getting an hour and a half if I was lucky. So 2.5 hours right now if I can get that, that will feel like heaven. Vish says I've got to check out 99.94. Yes, you do. We're on, how many episodes have we done for them? 17 so far. It's definitely worth checking out. So that's the end of the power play for the Amazon Warriors, 43 for 2 at the end of the power play. And the Royals will bring on Obed McCoy for his first over. You kind of feel like it's pretty much reaching the point for the Royals where if they do care about winning this match, they've got to take wickets in the next 2 overs. And when I say wickets, I mean more than one. They've got to do a double strike of wickets. They've got to ensure that Odean Smith, that's well bowled by McCoy. Thomas drops it anyways. No nick was on it, but it's a good Yorker. Or it was a really full delivery, I should say. They've got to ensure the only way the Barbados Royals can win this is if, you know what, Shakib's just lucky not to get a nick on that. Sorry, the only way they can win this is if they can force a situation where Odean Smith and Romario Shepherd have to come in too early. But that is very unlikely. Again, Obed is trying to entice Shakib to waft at one outside the off stump. Aaron says the 99.94 is great, especially the episode when they cuss out Lara. Yep, I'm guilty as charged on that, people. You just have to go and listen to that. I won't give it away. Farah says Shakib is a top 5 all-rounder in one dayers. For me, his 2019 World Cup was insane. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. What did they cuss Lara for? What was Vish? Let me find the episode and I'll put it into the chat. 1 second. This time Shakib reaches after that and he's able to drive that one serenely to the boundary for 4. Let me find that episode for Vish. The one. Obviously, you can listen to 99.94 on the 99.94 app. So if you're somebody who likes apps, there is a 99.94 DM app. There's a YouTube channel, which I'm about to put the link to in a minute for the Lara episode. That's something that you asked for. Let me just find that for you. Look, where is that Lara episode? Which one was it? Was it episode? Oh my gosh, it's not even in the playlist. I wonder if it's been taken down. Did they take it down? Did somebody else? Oh my God, I can't even find it. Oh, people, I can't even find the Lara episode. I found it. It's had 1,800 views on their channel. Boy, they need to pay me more for this stuff, you know. I'm out here just giving them hot content. 1 second. Vish, I'm putting it in the chat. There you go. It's in the chat, the Lara episode on 99.94. Right, back to the cricket though. Sorry, I missed Shakib 6 and all that chatting. Guyana going to win this easily. Shakib on 21 of 14. McCoy's gone for 10 off his first over. Aaron, thank you very much for the super chat. Not even a comment, just the contribution. Love to see it. Thank you very much for supporting the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Always appreciated. Your comments on here always appreciated. You add a lot to the community. Last ball of Obed McCoy's over. And always a caught and bowled opportunity put down by McCoy. It would have been difficult. It would have required a really good catch, but the opportunity was there all the same. And they run through for 1. That's the end of the over. And the Warriors are... Was it caught and bowled actually, or was it a bump ball? And the Warriors are 54 for 2 after 7. I think that might have been a bump ball, actually. I thought it was a caught and bowled, but it looks like it's a bump ball. people. Okay, I'm going to do one more over because it's too difficult to try and watch the game on one screen and then come back to this and look at comments and stuff like that. So I might have to bounce after this to do things properly. Right, let's go back to the comments. I'll see what other comments. Let's see what other comments are missing. So the 8th over will be bowled by Mujib Rahman. Where are we? Let's go through some comments while I still got the chance. Do you get full donations? YouTube take a cut, I think, Sachin. I don't know what it is, but they do take something. I'm a teacher, Faraz. That's my day job. That's how I live day to day. I'm a... Shakib plays a cute little ramp shot. It's Azam Khan trying to chase it down, and he gets there. He gets there. He looked like he was running in treacle, but he does get there. Yes, I'm a teacher, Faraz. I'm an assistant head teacher, believe it or not. Sammy the coach, Tasham, over Sammy the commentator. Javid says, "Do you think Guyana can win this year, or are they going to choke?" Listen, Javid, we've seen Guyana choke in every single circumstance. The only difference this year is, I would say, that I do think playing at Providence is going to be a big advantage for them. I do think it matters. I do think it helps them, and also they're going in with momentum. So, Shakib drives airily, just avoids the fielder at cover. Come back for a second, and that's fine as well. Good running, good positive cricket. Shakib moves to 27 off 17. Mujib not getting any joy here. I mean, who was that at cover? Was that Joshua Bishop? Shakib's basically going at everything here. He's not here to hang about. He wants to end this game and end it quickly. Oh, well bowled there by Mujib. Good comeback. Nearly ties Shakib up in knots there. Right, 2 more balls, people, and then I am out for today. So, yeah, just to end the point, Javid, the thing is they're going in momentum this time. I often say with these type of tournaments, if you can come in on form at the right moment, you can win the whole thing. And certainly, I don't believe that anybody will want to be playing Guyana, whether in the qualifiers, eliminator, final, whatever it might be. But based on today, it's pretty clear what we've now got. So on Tuesday morning, it's going to be Barbados Royals versus Guyana Amazon. Shakib goes after that one, and it just falls short of Harry Tector. Did Harry Tector misjudge that? Should he have come in quicker? I mean, they're all clapping him, saying at least he stopped the 4. But I just wonder if he could have judged that a bit better. Shakib, again, not hanging about at all. So what was I saying? So, yeah, we're going to get... Okay, then fairness, Tector was running around the boundary, and in fairness, that's a really good stop to make sure it doesn't go for 4 as well. So Royals versus Warriors, Tuesday morning. Kings versus Talawars in the first eliminator, Tuesday evening. I'll be with you for that game in the evening. Then the following evening, it'll be the loser of Royals Warriors versus the winner of Kings of Kings Talawars in the second eliminator, and then the final will be on Friday. I am not doing the final, people. Santoki is doing the final. So my last 2 contributions for CPL, other than this game, will be the first eliminator and the second eliminator. So the first eliminator, like I say, will be the Kings, St. Lucia Kings versus Jamaica Talawars. The second eliminator will be the winner of that game versus the loser of Barbados Royals versus Guyana Amazon Warriors. So look out for 2 more watch-alongs, Tuesday and Wednesday. or what I would say the final 2 watch-alongs of the tournament. Right, people, that's not the score that's on the screen. That was at the end of the 7th over. The score is actually 61 for 2. Well, it was 61 for 2, but I think they've just hit a 4. No, what's going on here? No, that's a wide and a 4. It's a 5. So it's 66 for 2 at the start of the 9th over. Ramon Simmons bowled a wide. It looks like leg buys as well. It's gone through Thomas's legs. It's a catalogue of errors. And then Azam Khan obviously can't obviously. Azam Khan's not going to stop that. Good dive though, Azam. So 66 for 2 at the start of the 9th over. And people, I am probably going to call it a day there. This game should be over at 3:30. Yeah, I'm going to call it a day there, people, so that I can go and complete this match report and jump straight into bed the minute I've completed the match report. Oh, that's a good point, Javid, before I go. I do. It's going to be interesting because the Warriors fans will have bought tickets for all the night games. They couldn't, surely they wouldn't have known which playoff game the Warriors would be in if they made it to them. So tickets going to be running like hotcake after this match for that morning 10 o'clock game. Enough people are going to have to take a day off work to go watch Warriors versus Royals for that 10 a.m. game. But anyways, people, that's my last comment on proceedings. Hope you've enjoyed the watch along as usual. Before you go, it says on my screen that there are 48 likes only on the watch along. Come on, people. Press like before you go. At least give me 50 likes before I close off this. Before I close off this live. And then in terms of subscribers, we are on, let me just refresh it, 3,287 subscribers. So if we can find another 13 after I've gone or just before I go, all the better. And we would have reached my target of 3,300 by the end of this live. But people, we've reached the 50 likes. So thank you for that. And then last question from, oh, wow, any update on Twitter? No, we're still blocked. By tomorrow, about midday tomorrow or the morning of tomorrow, it would have been 1 week since Twitter put us in Twitter jail. I'm hoping that we'll be let out of jail tomorrow morning, or where's the morning now, on Monday, but who knows? If we're not let out of jail tomorrow or on Monday, you would have to assume that they're going to give us a 2-week suspension. So yeah. And Sumit, yeah, I've seen that. I got an email about it saying that YouTube is going to start paying for making shorts. I don't know if we've got the type of content to make shorts. And I don't fully understand what shorts are. Apparently they're like TikTok stuff. I don't know if Caribbean Cricket Podcast has enough interesting content to do shorts, so to speak. But I will look into it and see if I can come up with something. By the way, just as I go, Ramon Simmons has come into the attack and he's been completely licked down by Shakib, who's moved to 39 of 23. This game is actually looking to be over by 3 o'clock. So people, let me go. Let me go and sort that out. Sachin, last minute. Thank you for the $2. Sorry, my voice is gone. Thank you for the contribution, Sachin. Like I always say this to people, like any contribution to us is worthwhile. And that's what I would say to people. If you want to give 50p, that's good to me. Like all of that just helps keeping this go, So big up anybody, contribution wise. Big up everybody who's come in the live today. And Twitter let us out of Twitter jail. But people, I'll see you on Tuesday evening for the St. Lucia Kings versus the Jamaica Talawars in Eliminator number 1. Well done to the Guyana Amazon Warriors, who should go on to, wait, is that another 6? Oh my God. No, that's a 4. 1 bounce 4. Shakib is on fire. He's on 43 of 24. This over. Ramon Simmons has gone for 21. Wide. 1, 1, 4, 6, 4. People, I need to go because this game's going to be over very, very soon. And I haven't written the match report. Enough of my chatting. Later, people. Peace. Thank you for coming as usual. See you on Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, whatever you want to call it. Peace.
We rule the cricket world. Now the rule seems coming.
Welcome to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things West Indies cricket. By the fans, for the fans.